Ready for a deep dive? Let's explore the world of import-export managers.
An import-export manager.
Yeah, but not just any import-export managers. We're focusing on those dealing with office machinery and equipment.
Office machinery and equipment. So like every time we use a printer or a computer.
Exactly. It's all thanks to a global network of these professionals. And today, we're using RoleCatcher's career guides to unpack this career path.
RoleCatcher. Those guides are like treasure maps for anyone looking to navigate this field.
They really are. I used to think import-export was just about shipping boxes overseas, but RoleCatcher's What They Do section really opened my eyes.
It's much more than that, isn't it?
It's about being the architect of international business operations.
It's like coordinating everything and everyone.
Precisely. You've got your internal teams, your external partners, regulatory bodies. It's a massive balancing act.
Like a global orchestra.
Exactly. And you, as the import-export manager, are the conductor.
Making sure everyone hits their mark no matter where they are in the world.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is. And that's why understanding the intricacies of international trade is crucial.
Intricate? You mean like all those industry-specific terms, those abbreviations like FOB and CIF?
Yes. I always wondered what those meant.
Well, they're actually really important. They're called Incoterms, and they determine who's responsible for the goods at each stage of the journey.
Who's responsible? Can you give me an example?
Sure. So FOB shipping point means the buyer is responsible for the goods as soon as they leave the seller's warehouse. They handle the shipping costs, insurance, everything.
And CIF.
CIF means the seller handles all of that until the goods reach the buyer's port.
So knowing your Incoterms is like speaking the language of international trade.
Exactly. And it's a language in high demand, according to RoleCatcher's Industry Trends section.
Globalization is booming, and businesses need people who can speak that language fluently.
They need people who can navigate the complexities of international trade.
And juggle multiple priorities, deal with unexpected challenges, because let's be real, it's not always smooth sailing, is it?
Not at all. RoleCatcher doesn't sugarcoat the challenges in their pros and cons section. It's a demanding role. Long hours, tight deadlines.
And I imagine cultural differences can create some interesting situations.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where those all-important soft skills come in, which RoleCatcher emphasizes throughout their guide.
Soft skills.
Yeah, like communication, negotiation, cultural sensitivity.
So it's one thing to know the rules, but it's another thing entirely to build relationships with people from all over the world.
Exactly. In fact, RoleCatcher gives this great example of an import-export manager who saved the day by understanding the cultural nuances of their Chinese supplier.
Oh, tell me more.
Apparently, there was a slight miscommunication about deadlines.
Oh?
Yeah, could have been a disaster. But this manager smoothed things over because they were culturally aware.
That's a perfect example of how important those soft skills are in this role.
Absolutely. It's about building trust, fostering strong relationships, which ultimately benefits the business.
So technical expertise is important, but so is cultural sensitivity, adaptability, and a willingness to learn about different customs.
It's about having a global mindset.
So you need both technical skills and people skills to thrive as an import-export manager, but where do you even begin?
RoleCatcher's Getting Started section recommends internships or entry-level positions.
To get your feet wet, learn the ropes.
Exactly. Every shipment, every document you handle builds your understanding. Plus, you start making connections, networking.
Speaking of networking, RoleCatcher suggests professional organizations like the International Trade Association.
And the National Customs Brokers and Forwarders Association. Those are great places to meet people, stay updated.
It's like leveling up your knowledge.
Okay.
And speaking of leveling up, RoleCatcher mentions certifications.
Yes, those credentials can make you stand out, like the CITP.
The CITP.
Certified International Trade Professional. Or the CCS, Certified Customs Specialist.
There's even a CES.
Right, Certified Export Specialist. And let's not forget the CGBP.
Which stands for?
Certified Global Business Professional. Imagine having those letters after your name.
Impressive. But RoleCatcher stresses that learning doesn't stop there, does it? In their Elevating Your Career section, they talk about continuous learning.
Because the world of international trade is always changing. New tech, trade agreements, regulations.
How can you possibly keep up?
RoleCatcher recommends conferences, courses, maybe even an advanced degree.
Like in international business or supply chain management?
Precisely. Anything to stay ahead of the curve.
They also talk about building a strong portfolio.
Your portfolio is proof of your abilities. Include successful projects, client testimonials.
Even white papers you've written?
Show them what you can do.
Show, don't tell. Now let's talk about landing that job. RoleCatcher has a whole section on interview prep.
Over 120,000 potential interview questions in their database.
120,000.
From technical knowledge to soft skills, they cover it all.
That's a lot to prepare for.
That's where their AI feedback comes in handy. You can practice answering questions
And get personalized feedback.
on your delivery, content, even body language.
Like having a personal interview coach. That's incredible. So it's like having a secret weapon for nailing those interviews. But even with all the prep in the world, sometimes you get those curveball questions right.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher emphasizes that no matter what, you have to let your passion shine through.
Because enthusiasm is contagious.
Exactly. When you genuinely love international trade, it shows. Talk about what sparked your interest, share your experiences, and let your passion guide you.
That's great advice. So I've covered a lot: skills, strategies, even certifications. Anything else aspiring import-export managers need to consider?
Well, RoleCatcher brought up something that really resonated with me, the future of international trade.
Looking ahead. It is a field that's constantly changing, right? Technology, geopolitics, even things like climate change have an impact.
Definitely. We can't just focus on the present. We need to consider the challenges and opportunities coming our way.
What does RoleCatcher suggest for navigating such a dynamic landscape?
They really emphasize adaptability, innovation, and a global mindset.
Those are key in any field, but especially in international trade.
Right, those successful import-export managers are the ones who can anticipate change, embrace new technology, and build bridges across cultures.
So it's not just about moving products across borders anymore.
It's about shaping the future of global commerce. Think about the possibilities. New trade routes, sustainable practices, even technologies like blockchain revolutionizing supply chains. It's exciting.
It really is. When you put it that way, it sounds like being an import-export manager is so much more than just a job.
It's about being at the forefront of a global transformation.
Well said. So there you have it, a glimpse into the dynamic world of import-export management. Thanks to RoleCatcher's insights, we've explored the responsibilities, the skills, the challenges, and the incredible opportunities that await anyone who's ready to dive into the global marketplace.
We've seen firsthand how important those soft skills are, alongside the technical know-how, and of course, how a passion for this field can take you far.
Most importantly, we've learned that the future of global commerce isn't predetermined, but shaped by those who have the vision, the skills, and the drive to make their mark. If you think you might be one of those people, be sure to check out the amazing resources available at RoleCatcher. They have everything from detailed career guides to AI-powered interview practice, which, let's be honest, sounds pretty awesome.
It does.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop diving deep.